Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Zach of the Dark Conservatarian YouTube channel, and I just had a little bit of a something to get off of my chest right now. For the past few days, I've been arguing with people. Not gonna say who right now on the issue of when it comes to insulting people and I guess disrespecting people in general. And you all know for a while that when it comes to the conduct on my YouTube channel, that I will not just put up with insults. Um, for the most part, anyways. That I will just if I'm in the middle of a debate or if I'm responding to a video where the guy that I'm responding to is throwing around insults, I might throw an insult back or whatever, or point out how ironic that is that they throw that insult at a group of people that either I'm associated with or I empathize enough to want to defend them or whatever have you. Or any other reason, or the insult is just plain applicable because calling a spade at that point. That I am not like your typical average conservative, if you want to use that word, or I guess conservative libertarian in my case. And I have some people who are kind of turned off by it. Funnily enough, they end up go focusing it too narrow-mindedly focus onto the fact that I end up throwing around those insults or whatever else have you, instead of focusing on the substance of the arguments that I have to say in response to the person that I am debating or making a response video to or whatever. Um, or that they'll also get too distracted on the occasional curse or quite a few curses that I might throw around in the midst of a debate or response video as well. Focus on that too much as opposed to focusing on the substance of the arguments that I'm putting forth. And I guess one of the, and some of them will not some of these people who end up responding to me, but it just seems funny. There seems to be a bit of a funny culture of self righteousness in some cases when it comes to some Christian conservatives, not necessarily people in my life, who will refrain from insults or cursing, whatever have you. Some certain right wing pundits or whatever have you, up and coming internet personalities who go responding to leftists and leftism, get rather self righteous about it and focusing back on the issue of people that I end up in my own personal life, I guess, who end up saying as to how that they are disapproving of some of my conduct on this when it comes to insults or curses. They say that one of the arguments is you need to be more like Jesus, or asking what would Jesus do or whatever else have you, as a way to say that insult is never all right, even if your opponent is insulting you. Disrespect is never all right, even when your opponent is disrespecting you. And one of the points that I keep on bringing up, that it almost seems that they are completely flat out ignoring, is the fact that Jesus called the Pharisees snakes at one point, and probably at multiple points as well, called them hypocrites and whatever else have you. I guess whatever, you might not technically consider a hypocrite to be an actual regular insult, but a snake certainly is an insult. Is a You're disrespecting the other person in a way. Honestly, so far, I have not heard one single good response in response to me bringing up the fact that Jesus threw around the occasional insult when he gone debating or arguing with the Pharisees. None. As to why that, as to why that isn't applicable or that argument isn't valid or whatever else have you. And I guess that's what I have to say in response right here in this video. If insulting as a Christian is just plain wrong to do in every single case, in 100% of the case, be it whether the person is disrespecting you first, or you think that the insult is calling a spade or whatever else have you, if you think it is 100% wrong or even sinful, my question is, what about when Jesus said that, called the Pharisees snakes and hypocrites, whatever else have you? I mean, there might be a little bit of an argument to be had that maybe some insults that even I throw around are just not applicable. There might be some to be had about within Christian belief that if you are going to call somebody a hurtful or bad word or name, that at least you should be accurate with the insult that you are throwing around. I mean, if you're going to call a liar a snake, that's pretty accurate, pretty applicable. If you're going to call an asshole a scumbag, that isn't really the same, though. That isn't really being accurate, because an asshole and a scumbag are two technically different things, really. It might be okay, thinking about it, for you to call the liar a snake or a dishonest hack, as I like to keep on using that insult instead. But within Christian belief, on the other hand, it may not be okay to call the asshole a scumbag because, like I said, those are technically two different things. But overall, I have the same response to these Christians, is that it's at least a whole lot more nuanced than you or anyone is making it out to be when it comes to like throwing around insults or whatever else have you. And why aren't we having the conversation? Why aren't we having the conversation instead of arguing about how one side is saying that it's black and white and no, it's never okay, versus the other side who's saying, versus me, I don't know, whatever I'm actually saying at the time. Why aren't we having this conversation of how it's a whole lot more nuanced than some people are making out to be? When it comes specifically about insults, like cursing is a little bit of a different conversation later, but I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you, all my subscribers and viewers, think? Leave your comments down below on what you think as far as when it comes to insulting people, when it should be done, when it should be refrained. Do you think it should always, 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 always be refrained from doing so, even though Jesus, called the Pharisees snakes? Or do you think that the conversation is a whole lot more nuanced than these other Christians are making out to be, the ones that I end up arguing with? Comment down below, tell me what you think. Please and thank you. Hope to see y'all later, and I'll have an actual response video sometime later. But for right now, have a good one, and God bless.